morning and a very warm welcome. You're watching Janata Television and this is the English Bulletin with me, Sushant Dhakal. The top stories first. UML Task Force concludes meeting, warring factions of the party reach 10-point agreement. Student Union announces protest programs against NOC's decision to price hike, says NOC vehicles will be barred to fly from today. Government confirms over 1,800 cases of coronavirus across the country. More than 1,500 people recover in a single day. Thousands joined rare anti-government protest in Cuba. The country faces United States sanctions. And Italy defeat England to win the European Championship on penalties. England's wait for an international trophy continues. And now the news in detail. The establishment and the dissident faction of the ruling CPN-UML have reached a 10-point understanding to resolve the party's internal dispute. A meeting of the task force formed to resolve intra-party disputes reached a conclusion late last night. UML Secretary and member of the task force, Gokarnaraj Bista, said that the meeting agreed to forge a consensus among the disputed issues. The party's standing committee meeting scheduled for yesterday to approve the agreement of the task force has also put off till today. The party's standing committee meeting later today will finalize the accord. Meanwhile, the party's Central Committee meeting has been summoned at 11 a.m. on July 13th. Senior leader Madhav Kumar Nepal, however, has expressed dissatisfaction over the 10-point agreement reached yesterday. According to leader Nepal, the task force leaders reached an agreement only to influence the Supreme Court's decision. Disputes had surfaced in the CPN-UML after Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli dissolved the House of Representatives on May 22nd. Students' Union of the Opposition Alliance has announced protest programs claiming that the Nepal Oil Corporation has not withdrawn the price hike in petroleum products. The Students' Union has announced additional programs of agitation stating that the price hike has not been reversed even though a 72-hour ultimatum was given on July 8th to retract its move. The agitation program of the new movement will not allow the vehicles of Nepal Oil Corporation to ply on the streets from July 12th, request the unions transporting and selling petroleum not to operate petrol pumps and petrol tankers on July 12th, and close all petrol pumps and tankers across the country from July 12th, said Ranjit Tamang, the president of ANN-FSU. This is Janata Bulletin. We'll be right back after a short break. Welcome back after the break. We continue with other national news. The government yesterday confirmed 391 cases of coronavirus in the Kathmandu Valley. Among the three districts of the valley, Kathmandu recorded 263 cases, followed by Lalitpur with 97 cases and Bhaktapur with 31 cases. A total of 1,831 cases were reported across the country yesterday. The disease claimed 20 lives during the review period, taking the death toll to 9,382. Meanwhile, 1,533 people recovered from the disease yesterday. Nepal is among the top 39 countries that have been most affected by the virus. USA tops the list with 34.7 million confirmed cases. And now the news from the economic front. The government has made necessary preparations to launch the Mobile Device Management System (MDMS) from July 16th. The Nepal Telecommunications Authority (NTA) said that the MDMS will be launched with the objective of discouraging illegal import, sale, distribution and use of mobile sets from the upcoming fiscal year. Before importing mobile sets in Nepal, it is mandatory to get the approval from NTA and register the International Mobile Equipment Identity Number. Time for a short break here at Janata Bulletin. Stay tuned for international news. Welcome back. Now, the international news. Thousands of people have taken to the streets in rare anti-government protests in Cuba. The coronavirus pandemic and an economic crisis are spurring frustrations in a South American nation. At a protest on Sunday in San Antonio de los Baños, a town of some 50,000 people southwest of Havana, mainly young people shouted insults against President Miguel Diaz-Canel. Thousands of people also gathered in downtown Havana and along parts of the seaside drive amid a heavy police presence. Protests took place later in the day in Palma Soriano and Santiago de Cuba as well. Social anger has been driven by long food lines and a critical shortage of medicines since the start of COVID-19 pandemic, with Cuba under United States sanctions. Cuba was left relatively unscathed in the first months of the coronavirus outbreak, but it has seen a recent increase in infections. You're watching Janata Bulletin, and now the latest from the world of sports. Italy have been crowned the European champions after defeating England in the finals of the Euro 2020. The final game of the month-long tournament ended in a stalemate in regular time. The first goal of the game was scored by Luke Shaw in the second minute of the match to give the home side the lead. Leonardo Bonucci scored in the 67th minute to put the game on level terms. Both sides failed to score in the extra time and the game went to the penalty shootout. Arsenal's teenage sensation Marcus Rashford and Jadon Sancho both bought in to take the penalties missed during the shootout for England, while Andrea Belotti and Jorginho missed for Italy. But Bukayo Saka missed the decisive penalty after two misses each from both sides. The game ended 3-2 in favor of the Azzurri, who have been crowned the European champions. It was only the second ever European Championship final to be decided by spot kicks, with England's hope of ending a 55-year wait for a major trophy ending in a heartbreak. Novak Djokovic won his sixth Wimbledon title to equal Roger Federer and Rafael Nadal's record of 20 men's Grand Slam titles. The Serb is also in contention to win the Golden Slam, where a player has to win all 4 major Grand Slam titles, and the Olympics in a calendar year. Only Germany's Steffi Graf has ever won all 4 majors and the Olympics in 1988. The 34-year-old Serb won 6-7, 6-4, 6-4, 6-3 in front of a vocal 15,000 crowd on center court against 7th seed Italy's Matteo Berrettini. The 25-year-old Italian received loud backing from the crowd but could not capitalize on his first set win. Berrettini saved 2 match points at 5-3 in the 4th set, but the Italian could not fight off the third and lost the set 6-3. Having already claimed the Australian Open and French Open, Djokovic is the 5th man in the history and only the 2nd in the Open era after Rod Laver in 1969 to win the first 3 majors of the season. We are at the end of Janata Bulletin, and the headlines once again. UML Task Force concludes meeting. Warring faction of the party reached 10-point agreement. Student Union announces protest programs against NOC's decision of price hike, says NOC vehicles will be barred to ply from today. Government confirms over 1,800 cases of coronavirus across the country. More than 1,500 people recover in a single day. Thousands join rare anti-government protests in Cuba. The country faces United States sanctions. And Italy defeat England to win the European Championships on penalties. England's wait for an international trophy continues. And that's all from the English News Desk for today. You can follow Janata Television and our programs on various social media platforms, including on our website janatasamachar.com. Keep watching Janata Television. Namaste.